Hi, my name is I'm Carol, and I'm a co-founder and programmer at Groovy Entertainment. And with me today is Pavel. He's also a co-founder, programmer, and a creative director of Deadlink.
Hello.
Uh, During this video, we are going to talk about game mechanics and what you can find in the demo that is currently available on Steam. So the demo has been up for like 5 days now, and believe it or not, there are already some speedruns out there, and we're gonna watch them later on. So yeah, to start off, Pavel is going to be playing the game, and we will sometimes stop during the gameplay and talk about various stuff. So yeah, Pavel, can you tell us what is Deadlink?
Deadlink is a fast-paced arena shooter with roguelike elements. It's a combination of Doom Eternal and Hades in a cyberpunk aesthetic, in a cyberpunk world. It's a high-calorie gameplay, as a group entertainment motto says.
So yeah, let's begin here. Begin the run. So before you start the run in Deadlink, you have to select your combat shell, your class, and there's only one class in the demo build. It's soldier, and the soldier has like two weapons and two skills. He has a shotgun, rocket launcher as a skill. He has a hook, pulls yourself towards the enemies, and this scrambler ability that stuns all enemies in cone in front of you. Yeah, so once you start the game, you just go from the arena to arena and shoot the baddies in the face until you reach the boss, basically.
Yeah, and important notice or point. The primary weapon, the shotgun, has unlimited ammo, but needs to be reloaded after 4 shots. So, and the secondary weapon, the rocket launcher, has 2 rockets, but cannot be reloaded. In a moment, we will show you how to recharge the rocket launcher and how to get ammo for it.
So the first biome that you visit, I mean, there's only one biome in the demo build, is this Tora Industries district, and it's a Japanese style town. You know, you can't have cyberpunk without neons in Japan, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah. So what Pavel is doing here is trying to recharge his ammo. All the baddies, of course, already are shooting him, and by using his skills or his grenade, he can actually mark the enemies and put them in this glowing state. Once the marked enemy is killed, it drops resources like your shield. And 1 ammo for your shotgun and 1 ammo for your rocket launcher. So it's really important to manage your cooldowns and your resources so you can, you know, get out of the fight without any losses.
Yeah, pretty much the marking mechanic is like the bread and butter of the combat loop in Deadlink. This is your main survival tool and your main recharge of ammunition during the fight. So if you are in this loop of killing marked enemies, you do not have to reload the shotgun and you do not lose ammunition for rocket launcher. You can like go and do mayhem like without any stops. Also, we have like those orbs on the arena. We call them Sibos or anchors, and they have like 2 purposes. One is mobility. I can hook to them and change the location on the map quickly, so I can disengage from the combat. And the second one is like when I break them by melee attack or with ability, they drop 2 rockets. So if my skills are on cooldown and I need to get ammo, I can find the anchor point and I can break it and recharge my ammo for rocket launcher.
Yeah, those things are really essential to your survival here in Deadlink. Yeah, once you beat the arena, you will get to choose a reward. Basically, once one of the doors will become unlocked, and here you can pick one of the stat boosts that just increases your stats, like damage, damage reduction, elemental damage, critical hit, maybe sometimes maximum shields, max HP, stuff like this. And once you pick this stat boost, you also get to pick an implant. Implants are really the core like gameplay mechanic in Deadlink. These are your upgrades, your buffs, and they consist of two parts. They have active part and passive part. So if Pavel picks here any implant, we will bring up the screen of implant metrics. So this system, it's quite complex, but yeah, to
But it's fun.
yeah, we promise it's fun. There are four activators in this implant matrix, and they represent different actions that you can do in the game. So the first one is like on weapon swap, and if you slot an implant there, the active part of that implant will be activated. But this implant actually has like
Free energy.
yeah, it requires free energy to be activated. So if you put it into the activator that is called Sibyl Break, Sibyl Break, Pavel will get like reduced cooldowns by 50%.
Every time I break the Sibyl by using a skill or by punching it with my fist, my skills will that are cooldown will drop by the cooldown will drop by 50%.
Yeah, so this is how we engage. We incentivize players to do certain actions on the map, and you get to decide if you want to be proactive on the map and just break those Sibyls constantly to lower your cooldowns, or you just want to do something different.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next area and see how it goes. So
yeah, you can. I will use the scrambler and 8-second cooldown, and I break the Sibyl and 2 seconds remaining. So this is how we roll.
Yeah. Notice that every time Apollo breaks an anchor and Sibyl, his cooldowns are reduced. That's because of that implant has an active effect that lowers the cooldown. But the implants can go basically anywhere. As I mentioned, they have two components: the active part that lowers the cooldowns, and the passive part, which is I don't remember if it's like plus 15 max shields or something.
No, this passive is 15% damage reduction to the player.
Okay. So the passive part of the implants is always applied. So if you bring up the implant matrix and you move around this implant, the passive part is always applied. So it doesn't matter if you don't have a free slot in one of the activators, you can move it around and still get the passive. So every other arena will have choices to make. So after Pavel beats the second arena, we get the free choices, basically. 3 doors are unlocked and you get to pick which reward do you want. There are some currencies and there's weapon modes right there. So I guess we will go for the weapon mode.
Yep.
So weapon modes are something that modifies your weapons. Right now we can see the weapon modes for shotguns only. It modifies your damage type or increases reload speed of the shotgun.
but there are more of them, right?
Yeah, there are more mods, and probably we will see them later on.
Yeah, let's change damage type to fire.
Yeah, so the elemental damage in Deadlink works like we can keep going. Uh, Elemental damage has some unique properties like fire damage is more effective against humanoid enemies. There's also a toxic damage. Toxic damage is more effective against enemies with armor. Some enemies have this yellow health bar that you have to get rid of before you deal damage to health. And there's also an electric damage type, which is more effective against robotic enemies. The robotic enemies have like this blue health bar. So yeah, so that's pretty basic stuff right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have beaten another arena, and there's another stat boost to be chosen. There's this third choice that you can see right now. You have to pay for it because it's a bigger boost than the other two.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you have to make a decision if that makes sense for your build, like to increase toxic damage. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going for a toxic build, so I will skip that one. I will go with elemental headshot damage.
As you can see, Pavel has picked the implant that doesn't have the passive part. So there are implants that have both active and passive. There are implants that have only active parts, and there are implants that have only passive parts. So yeah, that's a variety for you.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And now I slotted it into weapon swap, and the implant states that next shot will ignite the target. So every time I swap the weapon, it will activate, and the next shot will ignite enemies. And right now it's not active. I swap the weapon, and you can see the fire particles around the weapon, indicating that the next shot will ignite the target.
Yeah. So ignite is a it's a damage over time effect that is applied to enemies, and it just burns them for a certain duration. So yeah, right now there are some on every arena. Once you beat like 3 or 4 arenas, there will be some heavy enemies showing up, and this is this tank right there. This guy basically shoots rockets at you and has a minigun on top that provides constant suppression fire at you. Yeah. And the game works like that. So if there are any heavy enemies on the arena, the light enemies, so the guys running around and the flying drones, will keep spawning until you kill the heavy enemy.
Yeah. I think the most interesting choice is a shell upgrade. Shell upgrade is something similar to weapon upgrade, but it applies to the combat shell itself. So it changes slightly your skill properties. We can make a scrambler that deflects projectiles, or when I break the hook, it will damage the target I'm hooked to, or we can choose combat shell mod that will allow me to gather dropped resources from anywhere on the map. Well, let's go with the deflects projectiles.
Yeah, so these combat shell upgrades are something that is. There are 2 types. There are generic types, the combat shell upgrade, and class-specific upgrade. So there will be different classes, different combat shells to pick from, and those will have different combat shell upgrades. But there's also a pool of generic upgrades like this pickup magnet that follows kick.
Yep.
So yeah,
This is we can see another heavy enemy that is chasing me right now.
yeah. This guy is like a sumo wrestler that has a shield in front of him, and that indicates that he will take reduced damage from front. You have to get behind him, and then you will be able to do some serious damage. Yeah. What else? So yeah. When it comes to the level design of the game, every arena is handcrafted. We decided that we don't want to go for procedural generated levels because we believe that there's no way we can create like reliable algorithm that will produce engaging arenas for FPS game that is so fast like
Yeah,
our.
yeah.
Um,
So right now I slotted an implant that will deal damage to marked enemies, and Scrambler itself marks enemies. So when I use the ability, it will also damage them right now. And
Yeah.
it is increased by skill power.
Yeah, and the skill power is just an attribute that you get to choose, that get you improve during your run. And skill power is basically used to increase the damage output of your skills and your grenade. So if you're looking for a increased damage of the grenades, you basically go for the upgrades of skill power, and you should be good to go. There are implants that increase skill power in active effects, in passive effects, and there are also stat boosts that increase skill power. So if you are into dealing more damage using your skills or grenades, that's the way to go. Just use the skill power every time you can and see everything down. Yeah. So as power progresses, every next arena has more and more difficult encounters, more heavy enemies, and in this biome we have basically three heavy enemies. There's this spider tank, there's this sumo guy, and there's another one that we will probably meet pretty soon. So yeah.
Yeah. You can also find a shop between arenas as a reward. You can. The neat part of it is that you can increase the slots for the implants. So you can like have two implants activating at the same time. So let's buy it.
Yeah. What's worth mentioning is that shop is one of two options that lets you heal yourself, heal health.
Yeah.
So if you are low on health, then you can go to shop and buy your health pack. There is also a chance that during the reward picking phase, you will be able to pick a door which heals you, and that's the only two options to heal yourself in the game, basically, because we want the player to be engaged in combat and treat your health as a precious resource, and figure out ways and to maintain the health as high as possible till you reach final boss. The most important thing actually to stay alive is to manage your cooldowns, manage your resources, and get your shield up every time, because shields are easy to obtain here.
Yeah. Now I have an option to pick up better boosts, but with the cost of increased damage. I think I will go for it because I'm using fire damage, I'm using shotgun a lot, so why not?
Yeah, so previously Pavel picked a weapon mode that changes shotgun damage to fire, and the stat boost that he picked had this bonus to 20% bonus to fire damage and 20% bonus to shotgun damage. So overall, this one upgrade increased his shotgun damage by 40%. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a nice combo right there.
Yeah, and also I picked up an implant that has only a passive, so you can slot it anywhere and it will work, and it increases damage to burning enemies. So when I ignite someone by shooting him after a weapon swap, the damage to him will be increased. So that's even more damage.
Oh, that's a pretty good combo right there during this playthrough.
Yeah.
Because it's worth mentioning that all the implants stat boosts are completely randomized every time you start the game, and there's like no guarantee that you will get fire upgrades if you pick up a weapon mod that it changes your weapon damage to fire. So just like in Hades, you have these tailored builds. You know, once you pick some boons that.
I can hear her.
Oh yeah, there's another enemy. This heavy enemy is called Geisha, and we know that has been a nightmare for our players during the demo.
Well, so, I dealt with her quickly, so...
Yeah. She's gone already, but she will be back probably next arena. So yeah, the geishas work like they shoot. They throw at you those homing fence missiles that they are very hard to dodge, but she is extremely annoying because she has this shields that make her invincible. And to get rid of those shields, you have to break line of sight with them, force them to teleport, and after she teleports, for a brief moment, her shields are down. So this is your window to push forward. But we are aware that she's not really in a good state. She's a huge pain in the ass, and we are planning to rework that enemy, like pretty soon. And by the way, if you're interested in the development of Deadlink, make sure to join our Discord. And give us feedback. Download the demo, let us know what you think. If you like it, remember to wishlist the game. The demo will be available until the end of the Steam Fest, but we will keep our community updated. So that's it basically. Yeah. So Pavel has beaten quite a few arenas right now, and it's time to go into the danger zone. Which is basically an arena that contains a boss encounter.
And I must say, I was really, really lucky that only one arena had geishas in it. So,
So the contents of the arenas, like the enemies you encounter there, are also randomized and won't be the same every time you reach a certain area. So there's always a shop before you go into the boss fight. So you might, hold to your credits to spend it on some upgrades right there. Because in the shop you can buy an additional. Okay, let's just wait. So this is our currently final boss for the devil. As you can see, it's a huge spider. that shoots rockets, shoots Gatling guns, has a Gatling gun, shoots you, and has another attack that will probably. Oh yeah, there's a laser. Boss has two weak spots, but they are different in every stage. So you can see that boss has a health bar on the top of the screen, and it's divided into three parts. So in the first part, in the first stage, the weak spot is on the rocket launchers on top of the boss, and during the second phase that is going on right now, you have to shoot his butt to deal critical damage. And once you go to the, it goes to the last stage. Both these weak spots are active, so you can shoot either rockets or its butt to kill. And Pavel is doing like
massive amount of damage because of the lucky build I got.
Yeah, so that was quick.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the demo content for you right here. Maybe we will go to hub and see if we can upgrade anything. If we can, because once the demo saves your progress. So once you go to the hub, you will be able to spend your resources or currency on permanent upgrades that you get. Yeah.
So you gather tokens and XP points, and got like upgrades, and you unlock another tier of upgrades. So there are also specific upgrades for classes, like optimized scrambler. So if I miss with my scrambler, which is kind of short, and the miss happens a lot, I must admit, you can upgrade it, so if you miss enemies with it, the cooldown will not activate, and you can fire it again. So that's a pretty big boost.
Yeah, so you can see that in the demo we have another 3 tiers, the upgrades that are locked, and you'll get to see what they are in the full release. I mean, early access release that it's going to happen hopefully this year. So the demo, we are planning to have 3 more playable combat shells and 3 more biomes that you get to visit.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of new implants to find during a run. Because right now there are around 50-something implants that you can find during a run, and we plan to add more and more as the
development progresses.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so that was a developer run.
Yeah, that was a developer playthrough. It took us around 19 in-game minutes, but because we were stopping and explaining, and I guess we can move on to the speedrun right now.
Yeah.
So the user BloodShot has been
Since I've seen in Hellstrom, which more games like this did the enemy outline when it's done last season or two. I kind of agree.
Beat the game.
I forget what other game does that. There's a game that I played
as you could, and see what he's got for us. It's important to notice that his soldier, his combat shell is fully upgraded. So there's nothing to upgrade for him right now. Okay, so he rushes forward right now, but the timer on the right is not started. That's because the timer of the run starts once the first combat room begins.
Yeah. And also important notice, you can activate the door and dash through it right away, because the animation goes up, the doors are opening, but the collision is disabled immediately, so you can push forward to save some time. You don't need to wait for the doors to open.
Yeah, and he utilizes the rocket jump. Really.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
We didn't mention it, but the rocket launcher gives you some knockback effect. So it works something like a rocket jump, but you can do it mid-air also.
Challenge.
Yeah, well, that was fast.
Yeah,
And,
that was fast.
yeah, right here you can see that BloodShot is going
Don't
through
stop, but like hurry up.
the challenge rooms. Challenge rooms are some unique encounters that can appear during the run, and you get to pick or avoid them. Once you go through the challenge doors, you will receive extra rewards. But right here, I believe that BloodShot is using the challenge room just because it's faster to beat than regular arena. We will definitely adjust that
Yeah.
in the future builds. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, and this motion of punching the air when you shoot the rocket, it allows him to fire faster. It cancels out the internal weapon timer and ignores fire rate of rocket launcher, and as soon as the weapon pops out, it will fire again. So that's like big increase in DPS and weapon knockback.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so he can like fly through whole corridor without even touching the ground.
yeah, that's pretty amazing. Like, it's so cool to watch. You know, we didn't really predict that it can be done like this. The best time by developers right now for the demo build is, I believe, just below 7 minutes, like 6:50 something. Yeah, let's see how he does.
This is just flat.
So it's also important to notice that what I said before, that he's got the upgrade, all the upgrades unlocked in the hub, and he increased his rocket launcher capacity to 5 rockets rather than 2. So he's able to just breeze through the arenas
Like
really fast.
dish insane amounts of damage in a really short time.
Yeah, it's like he's shooting 2 rockets
Yeah,
each time.
yeah.
Uh,
Fun fact: at the early stages of development, there was a block of code that prevented the use of skipping the internal fire timer, but as we increased the swap speed, the weapon became clunky to use because you equipped the rocket launcher and you couldn't shoot it because the swap was faster than the internal timer. So we removed it, and now the gameplay is smooth but has some side effects, as you can see.
yeah, but it's really entertaining to watch.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
oh, he has completed
This one's
second
weird when, like, a
challenge
challenge
already.
you complete it too fast, it, like, does that.
Yeah, but that's what's cool.
Usually-
Yeah, so the challenges are basically you have like 25 or 30% chance that the room reward will be a challenge room, basically. And there's no cap on it, so you basically can get a challenge room every other room, but you have to get lucky because it's fully randomized.
He was kind of unlucky with the previous corridor because it was the longest corridor in the game, so a couple of seconds could be saved there if the random gods would favor him with a short corridor like this one.
But he just jumps through it.
Yeah.
It's
And there's the geisha.
yeah, there's the geisha, and he prioritizes it pretty heavily. Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, there's a friendly fire amongst the enemies, so they can blow each other up.
Yep.
Oh man, what pass already? Oh man.
Yeah. It's also really prominent with the friendly fire on the boss arena because it spams the ground with the rockets, and the grunts are like dropping like flies from it.
Yeah. Oh man, so many implants. It's pretty crazy. we thought that.
Oh, that is a nice one. That's a nice jump.
For speedrun sakes, it's important to notice that every time your cursor, your mouse is on the screen, the game timer is paused. So every time you pick an reward, it's okay to take your time and think about it. But the game the timer goes on even in corridors. So if there's no combat, you have to, gotta go fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gotta save those seconds. Well, that was that was fast.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So how much was it?
5:15.
5.
5:14.
Okay. I know that BloodShot is doing below 5 minutes runs right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. We can't wait to add some more content for speedrunners. But
Yeah.
for now, that's it. So, if you like what you see, go ahead, download the demo. It will be available until Monday, until the Steam Fest ends, and let us know what you think. Join our Discord and follow us on Twitter, and make sure to wishlist the game. It really, really helps us with the development. And we
Thanks
will put
for watching.
we will put this on the loop. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank
See
you.
ya.
Bye-bye.